Hey, what are you doing? Hey everyone, welcome to Hey, what are you doing? The podcast brought to you by me, Becca, obviously, in a podcast that is going to be full of chaos and lots of pauses and and who knows what else, as I don't know what I'm doing in any capacity when it comes to podcasting. Do I know how to listen to a podcast? Yes, I know how to listen to a good podcast. Do I know how to record a podcast, edit a podcast, do anything else about a podcast? No. Is that stopping me from starting a podcast? Also, no. It's 2024. It's the year of just going for it. So I'm going to bring you all along on the journey of just going for it. A little backstory on how this podcast came to be. I have been wanting to start a podcast for quite a few years now. I have asked many different people to start podcasts with me, but life gets in the way. No one has time. It's very difficult to find time to do really anything outside of work these days. The other night, though, I was driving home and I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts. It's called And That's Why We Drink, 10 out of 10 recommend. And I thought, why can't I just do this? So I was sitting there while driving, trying to think of any kind of niche that I could include in a podcast. And it hit me that every time I give someone a call, the first thing I say to them is, hey, what are you doing? Honestly, because I want to know what they are doing. And so in my head, it just kind of clicked. Why don't I just start a podcast called Hey, What Are You Doing? And interview people about what they are doing right now in their lives. I love listening to an interview type podcast, but I find that a lot of those podcasts interview people who, while they teach you a great lesson or, give you good tips on where you want to be in life, they aren't as relatable as talking to, say, someone like me, a 30-something-year-old living, in the middle of nowhere, Illinois, just living life. I don't run a business. I don't have millions of dollars. I'm not an influencer. So it's a little bit more relatable in that, it's everyday life. And so I thought that would be something that I could do. I have a great group of friends, a great support system. Every single one of them that I've already reached out to has been immediately on board to be interviewed by me without even hearing the first episode. And honestly, after they hear this first episode, they might back out. And I would not blame them. This has already been chaotic as it is. I've had to start and stop about 10 times. Apologies if you hear a dog barking or a cat meowing in the background. That's Annie and Stanley. I cannot do anything about it. So the premise of this podcast, I will be asking people questions about their lives. It's going to be mainly about what's going on in their life right now. It's going to be anything from, people who are in the same industry as I am, people who have decided to become a stay-at-home moms, people who have decided to retire. It's going to be a wide range of people that I interview. So I'm really excited. I actually shed one little tear when I even posted the trailer for this podcast. And if you know me, you know that is something I don't do. All that to say, I'm so pumped that I finally just decided to just go for it. That's going to be the motto for 2024 is just go for it. Why not? See what happens. What do I have to lose? Really nothing. All that to say, we're going to start with the main questions that I'm going to ask people. My plan is to do it as like a phone conversation that I'd be having with my friends, but also a little more structured than that. So I will have questions for my guests that they will answer. I anticipate our conversations organically going different directions based on who I am talking to. Everyone that I know is in a different point in their lives. But I do have some general questions that I'm excited to ask everyone. This episode is going to be about me, because I'm the easiest to nail down when it comes to scheduling. So here we are. It's New Year's Day, January 1st, 2024, recording my first ever episode, and I am rambling, completely rambling. So let's just get into it. A little bit about me, other than what I've already told you. I'm a 30-something-year-old who leads a social media and email department at a marketing agency. I have a cat named Stanley and I have a dog named Annie. They are pretty much my entire life. As a 30-something-year-old millennial, I'm sure a lot of you out there can relate to, we don't buy houses for our children anymore because we don't have those children. We buy houses for our dogs, and we make sure those houses have fences for our dogs. In my free time, I enjoy going for walks with my cat and my dog. I put my cat in a backpack. Everyone gets a kick out of that. I also enjoy lifting. I enjoy hanging out with my family, playing video games. If anyone's been playing Hogwarts Legacy lately, let me know. I enjoy binging different TV shows. Right now I'm in the middle of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I also enjoy a good scary movie. I'm sure there's more that I like to do, but for now, that's all that's coming to my brain, so bear with me as I'm, again, rambling on. Currently, in my personal life, as a 30-something-year-old millennial, I have decided to buy a house, which is wild. Even the thought of buying a house makes me sick to my stomach, but it has been a goal of mine for a very long time, and it's something that I know I'm ready to do. I've been in a house for about a year that I've been renting, and it's given me a little glimpse of home ownership, and so I'm thankful for that, and I now know that I can do it. I have been taught how to mow the grass, weed eat my lawn, the other things that come with home ownership that I can't think of right now. I feel like I'm being put on the spot, and I'm being put on the spot by myself. I do this to myself. It's fine. In 2023, I also started therapy for the first time, and I'm really enjoying it. I 10 out of 10 recommend literally everyone go to therapy, even if you don't think you need to go to therapy. In 2024, I am really excited to prioritize myself. The back half of 2023 wasn't the most ideal mentally, so I'm hoping that 2024 brings more peace. What a typical day for me looks like, it depends on if I'm in the office or not. 3 out of 5 days a week, I work from home, so we'll just go with that. After waking up, I sit outside a bit with Annie and Stanley. My cat loves to be outside. He's currently out there right now. After that, I come in and I do my skincare routine. I try to eat breakfast within 90 minutes of waking up, and then I take Annie for a walk. After that, it's time to work. It's just a normal work day. And then after work, it's time to lift. I've been following a program by my nutrition coach, Allie, and I've really been enjoying that. After that, it depends on the evening. Some evenings will involve hanging out with friends or family, but other evenings will involve being alone. I really thrive having alone time, so I try to make sure that happens at least a few times a week. Lately, in that alone time, I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy, like I mentioned a little bit ago. And in 2024, I'd like to spend that alone time reading or working on this podcast. Next question is, how would I describe my current phase of life in 3 words? Exciting, stressful, and peaceful chaos. Does that count? That is 4 words, but it's my own podcast, so I make the rules. What's taking up most of my time these days? Work. But I'm sure that's a lot for everyone. And then also the thought of getting pre-approved to buy a house in the next 3 months, and then also buying a house and then moving and everything that comes with moving is taking up a lot of my brain space right now when I'm not thinking about work. Are you working on any personal projects or hobbies right now? Yes, this podcast. I'm excited. I finally decided to start a podcast. I did not know what I was getting myself into. I'm not quite sure what I thought. I knew it was more involved than just sticking a microphone in front of my face, but I wasn't quite sure just how involved. And I am quickly learning that it's more than just talking into this microphone. Hopefully in a year from now, I look back on this first episode and I cringe at just how not good it was. But for now, it's just going to be imperfect chaos for everyone to listen to. A recent achievement or milestone I'm proud of. How much can I talk about this podcast that just started literally today? I'm proud of myself for even taking the plunge into podcasting world. It's just, I don't know, I'm always looking for a way to a creative outlet for myself. I've been blogging for over 10 years now, but that, it comes and goes, and I just like sometimes don't feel like what I want to blog about really is anything that anyone will want to read about. I've tried my hand at TikTok. I've tried my hand at vlogging. I've tried my hand at really anything you can think of. And the last thing, or one of the things I haven't tried, is podcasting. And so I thought, why not try, trying to find ways to be creative in this world is really difficult. And so anything that can bring you joy or help your creativeness get out there or whatever it might be, just go for it. I mean, why not, honestly? Let's see. How has my perspective or priorities changed in the last year? So like I said earlier, I started therapy in the past year, and my therapist has helped me realize that if it's not my problem to fix, I don't need to get involved. Let me tell you that again. If it is not your problem to fix, you don't need to get involved. This has helped shift my thought process when either people I know and love come to me with their problems, or I'm looking in from the outside at things that, maybe I see as a problem. I'm an Enneagram 8, and if you know anything about Enneagram 8s or me, really, you know that I love to give you my opinion and my thoughts on what you're currently doing. And I have had to learn from my therapist that not everyone wants my opinion, not everyone cares what I think when it comes to their lives. And also, it's a lot for me mentally to take on. I have other things to worry about, and I don't need to worry about what people are doing. If it's not harming them or harming other people, it's not my problem. There's a stupid little video from when I was in high school, and I always quote it. It's not my chair, not my problem. And that is the philosophy I am taking into the new year with me. I have also, thank you TikTok, have started to really romanticize my life in the last year. So taking in every single little moment instead of just the big ones. I love to capture the little moments. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I post a lot of little moments on my stories. It's really helped me find the joy in everyday life. Life has been extremely stressful lately, so finding happiness and joy in the little things every day helps keep me grounded when I want to flip a table or something. I recommend, when you pour that Diet Coke, snap that picture, or, when you're sitting there drinking your coffee, take a minute to look out the window and think about your day. It's just the little moments really make every day what they are. And so I recommend just taking a moment to appreciate all of it. What's a big goal or dream I'm currently pursuing? Once again, this podcast. How many times can I say this podcast? What's something new I've learned recently? You guessed it, this podcast. Looking ahead, what am I most excited about in the short term? Well, in Q1 of 2024, I need to buy a house, or I won't be homeless, but I will not have a home. I know that buying a house comes with a ton of cons, but it also comes with so many pros, especially after renting for so long. I cannot wait to own my own space, do what I want with it, not have someone else tell me what I can and can't do in my own home, and also not have to worry about someone else deciding to move back into the home that I've been living in. Q1 2024, Becca's buying a house. Everyone cross your fingers, send me positive thoughts, prayers, whatever you want to do, that this works out. And that I don't have to move again in 365 days, because when I tell you I hate moving, I really hate moving. What's something I'm passionate about, and how does it influence my daily life? Like I mentioned earlier, in 2023, I really tried to jump on the romanticize your life trend. And it's just really, once again, made me see how important the little things in life are. There are a lot of things I am passionate about, but making sure to bring even just a little bit of joy every day to my life is something that I am trying to get even better about in 2024. Like I said, there's a lot of things that are stressful, as I'm sure we are all aware of. And so just finding the little moments, even if it's just one or two a day, realizing that every day has something good has helped a lot. Let's see, what's a misconception that people have about my job? Well, I work in social media. So I feel like that explains itself. Everyone thinks it's just easy and that anyone can do it. What most people don't understand is how much thought and strategy actually goes into a successful social media campaign. Yeah, there are programs out there that make it easy for anyone to design a graphic. iPhones make it easy for anyone to have a photo, but neither one of those can give you a strategy, implement that strategy, or optimize that strategy for you. Social media changes every single day and it's different for every single industry. When it comes to organic, yeah, anyone can just make a post, but when it comes to paid social, especially, there needs to be a strategy behind every single thing you do. And so I'm obviously very passionate about this, and it's a soapbox that I could be on for hours, and I won't do that to you all. But there's just like a huge misconception about social media and how it works and what it does. And so it is one thing that I wish more people understood, but I get why they don't. A funny little like tidbit that always made me laugh is years ago when I got into social media, my grandma would tell her friends that Becca ran the Facebook. And let me tell you, I wish I ran the Facebook. How do I find balance between my professional and personal life? Well, COVID, as we all are aware, really changed a lot of things for a lot of people, including myself. It made me realize that I thrive when working from home. It has helped significantly with my life-work balance. And let me say that again. It is life-work balance, not work-life balance. Life should come first. I'm sure we can all agree. Life is the most important thing. It's so short and it should be something that is cherished. Yes, obviously we all need to work, and I know a lot of people are passionate about what they do for work, but also keep in mind that don't let life pass you by while you are working. And COVID has really helped me realize that. As a 30-something single female with no children, my social life is also important to me. But as an introvert, being at home is also extremely important to me. So working from home has helped me find that balance because I get the best of both worlds. I'm able to be home during the day while working and spending time with Annie and Stanley. But then I'm also more able to have more of a social life after work because I'm not gone for 10 hours a day at the office. And so working from home has played a really important role in my life in the last almost 4 years, which is wild. What's a piece of advice I've received that has stuck with me? Again, like my therapist said, if it's not harming you or the person you are concerned about, do not make it your problem. I, for some reason in my head, thought that everyone else's problems or things that they were going through was my issue to fix. And the past 6 months, my therapist has really helped me realize that it's not. I have a lot going on in my own life, and trying to take on other people's problems for them and fix them for them is just something I don't have the capacity for. So realizing that, everyone has their issues and everyone can fix those issues or figure out those issues on their own without my interference has been a really big help for me in the last 6 months. Can I share a funny or unexpected experience I've had recently? When I tell you, life with an orange cat, and specifically the orange cat named Stanley, brings something funny or unexpected every single day, I mean it. Every day with him is a new adventure. For example, the other day he's outside and I heard something hit the back door and I thought it was him trying to get inside. Nope. It was him chasing a squirrel, and that squirrel was trying to get inside my house. I could not even open my door to get Stanley away from the squirrel because every time I tried to open the door, the squirrel would try to come inside the house. He's currently outside right now chasing squirrels because he was inside when I started this podcast, and he was so mad at me that he was inside that he was crawling around me, meowing, knocking things over, jumping on the counter, just being very loud. So if anyone wants an experience with an orange cat for a day, let me know. I have one. You can rent. Just kidding. You cannot rent him, nor can you have him. I love him, but he makes every day an adventure. Life with Annie is also always an adventure, but she's a little older now, so she she's just chilling. But her and Stanley and their friendship has really brought a joy to, I keep saying the word joy and I need to find something else for that word. But it's really brought a joy to my life that I didn't know I was missing. And I'm very happy that me and Annie adopted Stanley when we did. What's one thing I've always wanted to try but haven't gotten around to? Let me hear it, folks. Podcasting. We're going to end. I don't know how long I've been doing this for because the program that I use doesn't have time on it. I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I doing this? Let's end on, if I could send a message to my younger self, what would it be? I feel like a lot of people say this, but it would just be that it gets better. Mental health is something that I'm also very passionate about and have been for a very long time. Younger Becca, even 25-year-old Becca, would never believe I am where I am now. The fact that I live on my own, that I'm potentially buying a house in the next 3 months on my own, would be kind of something that's kind of crazy for younger Becca to think about. I have so much more to learn and so much more room to grow, but doesn't everyone? But I know how much I have learned and grown, and so it is something I wish younger Becca could see, because I feel like it would give her, hope and a chance to see that life doesn't have to end at 16. Mental health is something that I really, wish we took more seriously as a society. I do think we are on track to do that, but it's not where it should be. And for everyone struggling right now, I'm so happy you are here. Please know that you are loved. And if there are resources, if you do need help. On that note, this is how the podcast is going to be. It is, again, going to be pure chaos, pure rambling, all over the place. If there are questions that you want me to ask people in the future, please let me know. I have an Instagram, I have a Facebook. I'm hoping to set up a TikTok for this account. So leave your questions in my DMs. You can also leave them to my personal Instagram, which is Life of Becca G. Just whatever you want to hear about. Again, I'm going to have a wide range of people coming up in the next few weeks. I just can't wait to sit down and chat with all of these wonderful people who have agreed or were forced into being interviewed by me. Again, this podcast is something that I'm so proud of even starting. I can't believe how much I have talked in the last, I don't know how many minutes. But yeah, thank you all for listening if you did. This actually probably was incredibly boring and I'm so sorry. But I promise that they will get better from here. I am just learning. Happy New Year, everyone. Cheers to 2024. I have a feeling it's going to be a great year.